Hi, hello everyone, and welcome to Think About It. My name is Yetunde Aramide Durand, and you can call me Didi, or just simply Dear Durand would also do. Okay, so welcome everyone. Happy New Year to you all. May this year be fruitful for all of us. May it be a blessing. And all of us who started out in the year, by the grace of God, we will gather again to rejoice at the end of the year. Okay, so welcome to Think About It on Instagram Live. So Think About It is a product of the Dear Durand brand. And so you need to check out my YouTube channel and, catch up with a lot of what we do there. But let me just give you a basic background of the Dear Durand brand and Think About It. So the Dear Durand brand is a learning platform where we process things, we learn, we exchange ideas, and one of the ways we do that is through one of the programs that I have. It's called Think About It, and we're just going to be speaking with one of my guests. So if you pay attention, you will get the general gist. But my social media handle is @Dear Durand, my YouTube channel, so you can find it, and any of the other social media platforms as well, so that you can just check out by yourself what we do. Okay, so I'm going to get my guest on board so that you can you can hear what we do and appreciate it, and hopefully we'll get you subscribing and sharing and liking and following as well. Hey, strap and safe. I see one of my people already. Hi Bola Edwards. Thank you so much for joining. So we will move along quickly because there's so much to share. So on Think About It, what we had decided to do was to take some of the content we did almost 5 years ago. We started out with that, and we're sharing it now because it's still very relevant. Think About It, as the name implies, actually takes salient lifestyle topics. We discuss it, but we don't just stop at discussing it. We think about it and we do something about it. That's why it's a think show. I believe it's Nigeria's premier think show. I think it's Nigeria's probably first think show, but it's okay. In as much as we're going to talk a lot of sense. We'll get in people who can teach us and we can learn from. One of such people is my guest who's coming up soon. His name is Dr. Akin Odubitan. What we did a couple of years ago was we had a season on the topic of safety, but before we did that, we taught people how to think. Is that possible? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So there's a whole body of knowledge around the thinking process. So I came from the angle, interestingly, my angle was, okay, let's be patient with each other. Let's just learn a thing or two. Dr. Akin's own is on another level. So he'll be worth listening to. And I'm going to get him on in a couple of, like right now. Stay tuned. I'll be back soon. I think I see Dr. Akin somewhere. Dr. Akin is already there. So, Dr. Akin, I'm getting you. Oh my God. I'm getting you on in a bit. Pardon me. Where's my Dr. Akin now? Okay, I got. Okay. Dr. Akin, can you see me? Hi. I think he's on. Hi, Dr. Akin, are you there?
Hey.
Hi. Can you see me? I can't see you.
Can see you.
Because
100%.
even
And
100%.
you,
Let's do this. Happy New Year, Dr. Akin. How you doing?
Happy New Year, DD.
Yes.
Hopefully this is the beginning of a number of really great stuff
Yes.
that you're going to do and we're going to do
Yes.
together. So
I totally agree.
good
Absolutely,
to see you.
absolutely agree. Oh, my camera is just me and my camera. We're moving around the whole place.
Yeah.
Pardon us.
Yeah.
Hey,
Oh,
great
it's
stuff.
fine.
So, tell me a bit about your Dear Duran / Think About It story, because I was telling some of our audience who don't know we're on YouTube, how we got here. So just gist me how
Yeah, great.
how you helped us get here.
Okay, so I had the first thing I did in my journey when I first said, okay, let me explore teaching thinking. Let me explore the whole thinking arena first. Now, typically, thinking is usually about, so let's say in the regular disciplines, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
First of all, thinking is supposed to be like the backbone of education across the world.
Okay.
Yeah?
Wow.
When you learn English, you're meant to learn how to think linguistically. When you learn math,
Yes.
you're meant to think arithmetically.
Yes.
When you hear geography, then you're taught great. However, there is pure thinking. So yes, you can be on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, but irrespective of where you are online.
Right.
Right. So this is being online. So when I say teach thinking, I'm talking about the one that is underneath all of them, the one that becomes the foundation for every other. Yes, that is thinking, and it is not taught directly in our current educational system. It is taught by proxy. It's taught by proxy, meaning, so we give you a passage, comprehension. So Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Why did Jack and Jill go up the hill? Oh, to fetch a pail of water. Yeah, right. Clap for you. Wow, it took a genius to figure that out. But when you then go deeper, so the value of effective thinking goes when with increasing levels of abstraction. So for example, if I say, how much water is in
Dr. Akin, we're doing it again. We need to calm down because I forgot it. I remember Damilola, reminded us the last time that we didn't introduce you because we already know each other. We keep. Sorry, that's my fault. I should just be able to guide you. So before we go further, Dr. Akin, please give us a quick your background, your history. So when you are talking, they wonder because people will probably still wonder, who's talking to us? Why is this person talking authoritatively at us or whatever? So please tell us a bit about your background, then we can continue.
So I'm a medical doctor, and I've been one now for almost a decade and a half.
Oh wow!
I've operated and I've worked in clinical and non-clinical roles within and without healthcare. I've run in management roles as well, within and without healthcare. And so in my usual presentation on my bio, I would say, so I'm Akin, Odubitan, medical doctor. I am a medical literacy expert because that's another thing I found out. Sometimes, and I think it's a bit on purpose. Yeah, every industry has its jargon.
Yes.
So,
yes.
So for example, if I tell you, you have non-fatty acid liver disease. I wonder non-fatty acid. Now I've used English words, but no meaning has transpired. No meaning has transpired, but that's what I've said. Non-fatty acid. Okay. So what does that mean? So I found out that there's a huge gap between how we talk and how people understand what we're saying. So it's one thing I've had to do. And so in my career, especially earlier in my career, I found out that radio stations are reaching out to me, TV are reaching out to me that, please can you come and talk about this? Because I spoke about it in a bit of a different way. Yeah. So I'd say a medical doctor, a medical literacy expert, but most important and relevant to this is that I'm a thinking skills evangelist.
Okay.
I'm a thinking skills evangelist.
Okay, so I need you to hold on a bit. I need you to hold on a bit on that. Like 5 years ago, I remembered you as a thinking skills advocate. So what has changed within that time? So let's go back.
Oh, yes,
I could actually read out the way you used to say, because I mean, I editing the program and I listen to it over and over again. So what happened? You used to be advocate, now you're evangelist. Can you marry what we were going to say before on this?
Yes. So the advocate is a bit of a more passive role.
Okay.
And so advocate, the advocate is the cool guy. He's there, buttoned up, doing presentation. Hey, this is how we should do things.
It's sounding like me. I think I'm an advocate. I'm stepped up. I think, sorry, at this time I'm still an advocate. Please go on.
And we need advocates too.
Okay.
Now activists was too aggressive. When I say I'm thinking skills activist, that's very activist care. Which one is we don't need activists. We're okay like this, don't worry, we don't need activists. But so in between advocates and activists is evangelists.
Okay.
Where it tells people directly, deliberately going out to spread a certain message. So that's the why of that.
Good stuff.
So Dr. Akin, medical doctor, medical literacy expert, thinking skills evangelist, author, common errors in thinking, speaker,
awesome.
And a lot of other stuff as well.
Good. I'm looking forward to. Sorry, go on.
Yes, and host of my own podcast, which is the problem is not the problem.
Am I correct?
Development. Sorry.
Thinker's Edge is the name of your podcast. Am I correct?
No. So the name of the podcast, because the podcast came before Thinker's Edge, yeah. Okay. So the name of the podcast is "The Problem Is Not the Problem."
That's the name. I thought that was actually a topic. Yeah. Oh, that's the name.
Yes, the problem is not the problem.
The problem is not the problem.
Podcast.
Okay.
Yeah, the problem is not the problem. Thinking development podcast. So these are the kind of things I do essentially. Yeah. Apart from my other things.
There's more. What other things again? After you mentioned 4 things, doctor. What can we do?
So there are things I do for money. There are things that I do not do for money. So a lot of the other things are things I do not do for money. So I'm on the board of at least 2 NGOs.
Okay.
One is Touch of Gold, which is a mind and handcraft development program for underserved people in suburbs across the country. I'm also part of the advisory board for SAMI, sickle cell advocacy, blah 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 blah, institute and stuff. So among other things. So, but please, today's.
I know. Wait, so I was telling the audience when I was in the intro, I said, look, this first thing, I mean, it's solid to us. So we're going to enjoy you. I'm hoping in the next maybe 30 minutes we can just capture you, get us back into the presence. And we're going to be doing that for those of you who will follow on my YouTube channel at the moment, where the content that I did in 2019 on the program, Think About It, on safety. It was we had a season on safety. It's still very, very relevant. Please check it out. You would be amazed how literally, if we didn't tell you that it was content done a couple of years ago, you probably wouldn't know. But we're putting our faces out there to let you know that this is us. We were the ones that came together, brought it together, and we're sharing with you now. But remember, because Think About It is a think show, I believe it's Nigeria's premier think show. But to be honest, sometimes I think really, Dr. Akin, I think Think About It is probably Nigeria's only think show at the moment. But it's okay. Let's say
most likely.
Let's just say perhaps there are others and we don't know. But you need to stay tuned to think about it, because not only are we taking the salient topics, it won't end like a talk show. We are looking at pragmatic solutions to particularly make our nation better. Yes, I am a Nigerian advocate. I said before, doctor, I was saying before I go and fix other people outside. Yes, so let us fix this one first. I don't think it makes sense to go and heal the world when our hometown is under fire. So we will do our best and we will contribute towards building Nigeria, because there are great people in this nation, great people like you and I, and those even those in the diaspora. Please, that's fine. You are solid. Nigerians are solid anywhere, and sometimes even bad. When we're bad, we're bad. When you are good, we're the best. Niger people, hello. I know, right? But we're really sorry, people, and I think together we can. When we're taught properly, I think we can really make a difference. So let's go right to it. What were your highlights in episodes 1 to 4 of Think About It? Any of the highlights? Any of the episodes?
Oh no! So we had a lot of fun times together.
Yes, we did.
So my So one of my favorites, off the top of my head, was Snap Judgment.
Yes.
Snap Judgment.
Oh my.
Yes. So what Snap Judgment? What does Snap Judgment mean? So Snap Judgment is a thinking error. Yeah. Where.
Okay, I'm going to interrupt you again. I'm going to interrupt you again because I want to marry where you are at. I know your mind works like a machine. Yes. Okay, so people, if you're just joining us, thank you and welcome to Think About It. Think About It on Instagram Live. I see a Mr. DG1350. Thank you for joining. Mr. Allow Edwards, thank you for joining us. I really appreciate you guys. And the rest of you who are coming, hurry up. Oh, you see somebody else?
Yeah, there's a me.
Yes, that's Kwe Edwards. I've acknowledged him. Hi guys, please join us. Just pay attention. You will enjoy the flow. So I'm going to connect the dots for the people who are just joining. Okay. So the Snap Judgment Doctor is talking about came from his first book called Common Errors in Thinking. Yeah, Common Errors in Thinking. So I'm looking at the next half of this program to drill you a bit on that, because it's a juicy packed book. Juicy packed. And guess what? I have plans to make a gift. Yes, we're going to use it as some of our gifts on Think About It. Yeah. So okay. So common errors. So what basically Doctor is sharing with us is we have errors that we don't even know about, and by the time we share some of it, you'll be aware of them, and you're like, oh my God, that's true. Oh, I do this, I do that. Then, where he's going to teach us solutions to those errors. So it's a must listen, and the book is a must buy. Okay, so you can continue, Doc.
Thank you. Okay, so we stopped at Snap Judgment.
Snap Judgment.
Yeah. So what's Snap Judgment? So what I found out from experience is that is the commonest error in thinking. Now, before I even go further, like I said, typically in academia, thinking as a subject matter usually falls either under philosophy, if you're a philosophy major, or under psychology. Psychology major. So, for example, you cannot go to school. You can go to school to study English language, but you cannot go to school to study thinking. If you want to go to school and study thinking, you probably have to go and study philosophy, where they teach thinking.
Right.
Same thing with psychology, But now I'm talking about forget philosophy, forget psychology.
Right.
Let's talk about thinking.
Okay.
However, in both fields, there's a comprehensive, exhaustive body of work around what thinking should be about.
Right.
Like, so, for example, there are the things they call the logical fallacies. And logical fallacies, I think there are about 13 of them, but none of them is here.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to do something new
Yeah.
and something different. So there's a body of work already around the logical fallacies. There's a body of work around unconscious thinking, about dreams, about serendipity, about all sorts of things on the psychology side. So, but what I'm talking about now is a very different. It is the most simple and most practical way to go about thinking.
Right.
Which is why I've done what I've done. And it's not an exhaustive list by any means.
Yeah.
Errors in thinking are errors in thinking, in that sense. So, snap judgment. So, snap judgment is the commonest error in thinking in my experience in teaching thinking. And essentially what it is that you tell someone, ask someone a question. You ask someone a question and they do not think about the answer. They remember the answer.
I like that. They don't think about the answer, they just remember the answer of just a question you just ask them now.
Yes.
I like that.
And many times the answer is an answer that they did not arrive at by thinking.
Yes.
Let me say that. Yes. So many times when you ask people questions, the snap judgment thinking error is that when we ask people questions, many times they do not think about the questions. What they do is they remember an answer. Now, many times that answer is correct for simple things. So, 2 times 2, 4. There's no magic. Yes, and it is correct.
Yes.
10 times 10, 100. Nobody is counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 10. 1, 2, 3, 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 100. No. Just remember that 10, and that's okay. But as we go into the territory of the unknown or the unfamiliar, we have many times outsourced our answers. Yes, we've outsourced the answers to certain questions to other people. Now, that's an inherently bad. Yes. So my favorite example is so let's use politics, for example. No, let me know politics. Politics is too divisive. This one.
Okay, thank you. You're very kind.
Before somebody is looking for who is that guy that is teaching things.
To come back. Let me. Okay, he's back. Okay, great. Can you hear me?
All right.
No.
Great. Where did I stop? Yes, I can hear you now.
Yes.
Where did I stop?
You are looking for a practical example for us. You wanted to use politics, and it's wise that you are not using it. So please use something that we can all really understand.
Yes, connect with. Beautiful. So, my favorite question is the one I usually ask, and it's in the book as well, where I say, "What do you think about the idea that marriage should be a 5-year renewable?"
I love that analogy. It's just a. Please go on. And so we can marry how many people? Go on. Let's see. I think I borrowed. Did I think about it? Yes, I thought about it. I didn't borrow from anywhere.
Good. So what happens many times, people don't think about that question. What they do is remember what their pastor said, or what their parents said, or what they have not put in the time, effort to achieve an intellectually honest position on that subject matter.
That's right.
But they think they have.
Yeah.
But they think they have.
Yes.
And so when you then say, "What do you think about this?"
Yeah.
Bad idea. Why?
They don't know.
The Bible says.
What do you think about it? Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
My grandma.
Yes. So they just remember an answer. Yes. Which then takes you to the second common error in thinking.
Yes.
Now, which is the intelligence trap.
Oh my.
The intelligence trap.
Yes.
Now, so now the guy takes a position he did not reach by thinking about it.
Yes.
Yeah, by himself. So he outsourced his thinking.
Yeah,
And
talk
after
to
outsourcing
thinking.
his thinking, he,
Oh, Bolale
yes, so
Edwards
that
is cracking up on outsourcing our
yes,
thinking. Welcome, Mr. Dapokolade. Thank you for joining us. Good to see you.
welcome,
I'm going to come in
welcome.
again, Doctor, because I know
Go
I
ahead.
really want to learn. So I usually like to
Yes.
break it down to the smallest. You talk to us as if we're talking to a 6-year-old. I know great minds
Yes.
like yours, you
Yes.
guys can just be, please just be patient with us, eh? We will get there. I was going to say the practical example of snap judgment. Please just give us small before we move on to, because these things are full. I mean, they are like main meals. There's no snack. There's no snack in your book. Main meals.
Okay. Okay. So let's see. No, you know what?
Mhm.
Let me let. Can you an give me an analogy first? Okay.
I'll give you an analogy. I love the analogy you used in the book. Okay, so this was supposed to be the
Yeah.
next segment of our whatever, but since we flowed into it, let us
Yeah.
flow. So we're talking about the common errors in thinking. That's Dr. Akin Odubitan, our
Yeah.
guest. That's his first book, Dr. Akin Odubitan. If you're just joining us, is a thinking skill. No, is a medical doctor, medical literacy
Yes.
expert, and a thinking skills
Yes.
evangelist. Hey!
Yeah.
So at the moment, we're
You
talking
got it. You
about
got
his
it.
book. Thank you. We're talking about his book, The Common Errors in Thinking. And one of the commonest, in
Yes.
fact, in his opinion, one of the most common opinion is called common error is called snap judgment. And that's what we're talking about. So the example I want to share is the one you used in the book, when you will throw out
Okay.
a question like, maybe China has a one child policy and everybody just has an opinion. And as you
Yes.
shared, a lot of times we've outsourced these things, or we remember an answer to questions that we've never been asked. And the remembrance, let me say, okay, so me too, I'm doing my review now. I hope, please let me
Yes.
know if I'm flowing. Okay. So what basically happens to us is we will use whatever they had, whether grandmother, whether culture, tradition, religion, has put in our file, the folder. So it's whatever available folder under that topic, you just bring out and say. So immediately you say,
As the answer.
or yes, so for example, culture. How can somebody have one child? How can someone, depending on the culture, let's say Nigerian, okay, so let me bring it home. Nigerian, one child. Why? Children are supposed to, the religion might come in, children are supposed to surround your
Mm.
table. Surround your table. So let's say it's a table of 6, which is standard, it could be more. They should have that many children. And that's probably what's at the back of, most of our minds. To really think
Mm.
about it, our answers might surprise us. Because some people don't
Yeah.
want children, which may be a shock to
Yeah.
people. How can nobody want children? But some people
Yes.
don't want children.
Yes.
And it's not a sin,
Yes. Yes.
by
Yes.
the
Yes.
way, I think, in my
Yes.
opinion. It's not a sin, or that one child is just enough for them. Or when they say, we're grateful, oh,
So,
wonderful, but then they thought it through and decided, oh, this and that, but not immediately, maybe for us to be like, God forbid, I can when I want child, which kind of stupid government. So that example made sense to me. Please go on, doctor. So that's my own review. I hope I
beautiful.
passed.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Thank
100%.
you.
And there are many other examples.
Hmm.
There are many other examples.
Right.
Um, uh, so, for example, there was one where I said, "Oh, why don't we pay?" I was doing a seminar for some teachers.
Right.
Yeah, I wanted to do a pilot program with them at the direct teaching of thinking as a skill.
Yes.
So, um, I while I was waiting to talk to them, I ran into like this primary 5, primary 6-year-old kid. And what's so interesting was that I had done this same question I asked them, I asked the kid, I had asked the teachers. And I said, what do you think about the idea that students in the north of the country, where literacy is low, school attendance is low, whatever, what do you think about the idea that they should get paid to go to school. And of course, all the teachers scattered. Yoruba will say one yari. No. Some people are here, they're paying their own school fees, they're doing there's some people who now be there. No, it's not fair, that's an equitable system. They didn't not thinking about it.
They didn't think about
not thinking about
it. They just answered. They answered from the memory bank.
Yes. From their prejudices, from their biases, from their even well-intentioned way, they did it, but they didn't think about it. I'm more comfortable with somebody who thought about it and got to a wrong conclusion than somebody who didn't think about it and went to a wrong conclusion.
I have a quick question.
So, yes.
Quick question. So, let's say we were in that class now. How would you measure that? Would you measure it because I just went silent and I did like this and think, then I now answer? Is it like a pause to, I thought about it, then you know that I thought about it, or did I bring it from another file or something? I just curious.
So usually, one of the key things is the speed of your answer. Absolutely.
No way.
Yes. The speed of So it's two things. So the speed of your answer tells me you've either thought about it before very well, many times before that time, or just put it out of your bank of thinking about it. And both of them can be wrong. Yeah. And both of them can be wrong.
Yes. Yes. The fact that you thought about it doesn't mean it's right. Yabi? Is that what you're saying? Yes.
But thought about it is not it's not a guarantee of the accuracy or the truthfulness or the power of your outcome. No. So usually it's speed. So when somebody asks a question, a person rapid, no. Why? So when I go why, then I'm able to decide whether he's thought about it severally and now the position, or he's just pulling out from the bank. So by the time I ask why, the entire thing is very clear who is saying what's right. It just becomes very, very clear.
Right.
So that's one way of doing it. Snapshot. Anyway, so I do with the teachers, and then they go. Everybody says blah, 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 blah. Then I teach them one thing into one. They're 10. One. I teach them PMI. Yes. PMI. What's PMI?
Can I answer that, please? Me. Pick me. Yes. PMI is oh my God, it wants to go off my head. Yay!
You get it.
Something interesting.
Yeah.
God, doctor. Yes. Interesting is the last one. Oh my God, I'm seeing it, but help me with the first one. Help me with the first one.
Think of a coin. Think of a coin.
Yes.
When you flip a coin.
Yes. Oh my God.
Heads or tail? Heads or tail?
Yes.
Positive.
Yes.
Minus. Plus.
Minus. And interesting. Oh, I can't believe oh my God, is this going to be in the globe forever?
Remember the acronym.
Oh my God, yes.
And
minus.
And here's how you remember forever, in quotes. How you remember forever is just think of a coin. So every coin has 3 sides.
Yes, not 2 sides, yes. Yes.
Every coin has 3 sides. The head, the tail, and the rim.
The rim.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Every coin has 3 sides. And so there's a positive, there's a negative, and then there's the rim.
Right.
So that's how even I remember it. So it's a bit of a totem. So every time I see a coin or a picture of a coin, I remember, every coin has 3 sides. PMI. So I teach the teachers PMI.
Yeah, good
stuff. Because I for me, when I talk about teach thinking, they kind of think it's theoretical.
I know.
Say, yes, all the theory. No. So I try to make it. I try to bring a reality edge to it. Yeah.
Thank you.
So the way I do it is I give them time. So I time your thinking processes. So I said, okay, we had 3 minutes to talk about this. There are like 5 or 6 teachers.
Right.
And I said, okay, so 3 minutes. What do you think this is? What do you think about it? That children, school age children in the north should be paid? Yes, no. So when they finish, and I teach them PMI, and then we do 1 minute on plus, 1 minute on minus, and 1 minute
Interesting. Okay.
Interesting.
I'm eager to hear the outcome.
Oh yes. So by the time we had finished, goodness gracious, almost everybody's opinions had changed.
Good stuff.
And what did I do? I didn't do anything. They didn't go and Google anything.
Yes.
They didn't even have like a thinking session. There was no breakout session. The same set of people.
Yes.
In the same space. They taught one thinking tool, and suddenly their mind was able to significant mind shift.
Wow.
I said, goodness gracious. Imagine if 20% of all Nigerians just had PMI.
Can you imagine?
As a thinking, yes, as a basis for processing thoughts.
That's right.
You know, so in my course, because I'm designing a course, an online course now.
Good.
And I call it soft work. Soft work. Now everybody talks about hard work. Oh, we need to be hardworking.
Yes.
Now I said no.
It's soft work.
Soft
and
work.
I know you're particular on something about water logic and Dr. Edward De Bono as well, the late Dr. Edward, the genius.
Yes.
Soft.
Yes, it's one of
soft, hard logic, soft work something and water logic. Hard rock logic and water logic.
And water logic. Rock logic and water logic. Anyway, so it's titled soft work.
Yeah.
And I called it soft work because everybody says hard work. But I also said soft work because it's easier to understand when you think about it like a computer. Mm-hmm. There's your hardware, and then there's your software. Mm-hmm. Hardware, software.
Right.
Everybody says hardware, hard work. But what about the software? Software update, upgrade, fix patches. That is how we should process. Yes, that's how we should process. Anyways, so I teach them PMI, everybody, woo, yeah, and then there's a shift. So I can't remember what I did. I needed to step outside for a bit. So I stepped outside. Then I ran into this young girl. I think she was waiting to see either the school administrator or something. She's like in primary 5.
Yes.
Maybe she's 10.
Yes.
10, 11 years old. And I asked her the same question. The very same question. I said, hi, how are you? So, I have a question for you. What do you think about the idea that little children, school age, in the north, where they don't really go to school, what do you think about the idea that they should be paid to go to school? DD.
Talk to me.
Answer.
Hey, solutions. Talk to me.
Answer blew me away. Here's what I mean. So of course, without giving her any context, all she said was, no, like all of us do this because she knows her parents are paying school fees for her. She knows people. So to her, it's just a very what kind of rubbish idea is that? You know, then, but like I said, 3 minutes, I timed it, great. Then I taught her PMI.
Yes.
Primary 5 girl. Do you know what so among other things, one of the things she said was, she spoke about bullying. Bullying. So yes, now that if in a school.
Come on. She's thinking, good girl.
Incredible.
Come on.
Just in a school.
Wow.
The bullies know that other people are getting paid to be here too. Then they're going to bully people more. And it's an idea that didn't even cross my mind as a possibility. Yeah. And that's the power of when you empower people with thinking tools. When you empower people with thinking tools. And of course, she said the other things too, which some teachers mentioned about, okay, more people will go to school because money is important. So a lot of people actually go to the school as opposed to, laze around. It's going to be good for the economy because they have marketable skills.
I want to do some, some merging again because we have some people who just joined us. So just give me a moment, Doctor. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Think About It. My name is Yetunde Aramide Durand, but you can call me Dear Durand or simply Didi. So this Instagram live is majorly to share with you what we do on the Dear Durand brand on YouTube. So my social media handle is at Dear Durand. You need to check out the content that we have because I really, really believe it's relevant for here and now. Interestingly, though, the content running on my YouTube channel is something I had done 19 years ago. Ah, sorry, 2019. It's 2019, pardon me. That's about, that's about 5 years ago, but it's still very relevant. So what we're doing today is Dr. Akin Odubitan is my guest, and he was my guest then. So we're putting our faces, so you know the faces to the people you're going to be, that will be airing, because at that time it was formatted for radio. So it wasn't like a live program. So thanks be to God, Dr. Odubitan, that you're here with me. I'm grateful, and all my other guests are here. I don't take it for granted. I just wanted to put that out. So I see that Velematics Venture, thank you for joining. I see Rufia 28, thank you. Yeah. There's somebody else I missed that it just went off. I'm not sure if I can still find the person's name. Yes, Sheyi, I think. Sheyi 21 joined. Thank you, Sheyi. Nice seeing you. Let's see. Drendy Tony. I hope you're learning something. Nice to have you guys join us. So I'm talking to Dr. Odubitan about his book, Common Errors in Thinking. And so one of the things that the Dear Durand brand does is to teach thinking. Yes, there's an entire body of knowledge surrounding the thinking process. So think about it, it's actually Nigeria's, if not the first, but premier think show. So it's not a talk show, it's a think show ultimately. Yes, so we're going to not just think through things, but we will offer certain solutions, workable solutions. And I usually say the Dear Durand brand is very Niger-centric. I think Nigeria should be cared for. Nigeria needs a lot of help. And it is Nigerians that will help Nigeria. So I don't know why people complain a lot about Nigeria. Nigeria is landmass, isn't it? It is. So it's those of us who are inside that determine what the outcomes are. So one of the aims, our vision of Think About It, is that once we get you thinking correctly, once I think correctly, the outcomes will be different. And I believe Nigeria will be a much better nation. So let me continue with the good doctor. Yeah, what I want to, before we leave snap judgment, and our time is far running, so I'll probably take this question, the one other one. I will see. Please, you're welcome to send us questions. You can answer one or two before we leave you. Thank you very much for joining in. So one of the things I want to ask is, practically, I want to know what was the response of the teachers to that question, so that this we can flow with what you said. So you can tell us the question again, so what you threw at them, then the general answer for plus, minus, and interesting. That came from them. Maybe one or two. Yes.
So when I first asked, and then I put it on a timer.
Yes.
Because you see, when I put it on a timer, it gives it a bit of a reality edge. So you are in quote unquote on the spot. Yeah. And so they gave answers that were, no, it's not good, it's not fair. There are people who are paying to be educated here. So why should some people get paid? And keep in mind though, as they're answering, I am not judging their responses.
Right.
I'm not saying that it's good. I'm not saying that it's bad.
It's just to think.
All I'm just doing is
think it through.
Notes.
That's all.
All I'm taking.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So when you say, the North. Okay, I said all right. So people in the South are paying. Why should not pay? Okay. What else? Then somebody else said, what do you call it? That even that was another interesting thing, that even the organization of it, that because of corruption, a lot of that money is going to go away, it's going to disappear, and people are not going to really get the benefit of it. Said okay, and another point, what do you call it? The students have come from lazy and complacent. Okay, what else? Anyway, so I think about 3 or 4 points. Then I taught them PMI, that the way to think effectively over any subject. Let me tell you how we normally think. So I tell you that, what do you think about the idea that, people in the north should get paid to go to school? So here's what usually happens in our mind. We say, not outside though, I'm saying in our heads. Go to school. No. When I went to school, who paid my listening? No. And then you now hear the missionary churches won't come. And you already now say, but that's different. Times have changed. The economy is different. Then you now hear, but even said they even waste the money. Exactly, they even waste the money. All in the head though. And then I mean they waste the money now. All people that are taking drugs and they will take more. Yes. The answer is that, do you even know how many they are in the north? There's 100. Every family is seven children. Can you imagine what the cost of that is? Oh no. As I think about all these things, you get that everything is jumbled. Now I'm not saying that there are no good points in the thoughts that they are having.
But they just didn't pause to think about it.
Yes. So what's happening is that they're doing PMI, but in no real order.
Yes, it's true.
P M I P M P Q. I didn't ask Q. Q P. So you scatter everything. Now you scatter everything. Are you? Then they will not talk. So I said no. Think efficiently. Now you're doing. So you are doing a PMI, but you're not doing it well, and you're not calling it a PMI.
Yeah.
So I said, what you do is to organize your thinking. So I said, okay, so what you will do, 60 seconds, I am going to think only about the positives. 60 seconds. And the temptation, because the way we always thought about was in that jumbled manner, there's a temptation to say, so as I think about the positive, a negative will come in. For example, you say, oh, okay, yes, if we pay them, they will go to school. No. Then it talks again, but what about? And I say, this is not the time for what about. Let's just think positives. Okay, it's going to be good for the economy of the area. It will be, Abi. Why? Because the money is going to go to the parents. Good. But what if the parents? You're not at minus. Stay on the positive. Just stay on the positive. Stay. It's good for the economy. It's also good for the family. It's good for the family. Yeah, it's good for the family because when the more children you have, then the more income you have, then the better the things. Oh, so that's possible. Yes. But what is that? We've not reached negative. Yes, we've not reached but, we've not reached what if. We are saying positives. Then you do 60 seconds of positive. Now when you finish doing positive, then you stop. Shift it. Take a note of everything. Then go to negatives. The burden on the economy. And the reason why PMI is such an interesting thinking too is because of the order.
Right.
Of the order. If it was MPI, it would not be effective. Yes, it wouldn't be effective. If it was IPM, it wouldn't be effective. PMI is the better way. Yes, PMI is the better way to talk about any subject. Why?
I'm sorry, but wouldn't it still be the same thing? Is it still not so? So are you saying if it's interesting, minus and positive, it will give me a different outcome?
Yes. Really? Especially if you start with minus, because you see, so to get interesting. Requires complete thinking out of the box. Yes. So to go from 0 to interesting, you have to be a special kind of person who looks for quirky first. Yes. So someone who is like fundamentally an interesting guy. Yes, it has to follow that order. So when you do, and the reason why it has to follow that order is because minus is a cheap gift. Fault finding is a cheap gift. Anybody, anywhere can find fault with anything. It's easy. Rubbish. That's how all these politicians are. It's a lie. The whole Nigerians are corrupt. No, there's nothing. There are no good men out there. All these girls on Instagram.
I'm on Instagram. Oh, yay!
It's not your guy they're talking about.
I get you. I'm
And yeah,
just
that's the
kidding.
worst part. That's the worst part. The worst part of it is this grandfatherism, where I have an opinion. The girls on Instagram are just rubbish girls. They find a good girl on Instagram, and instead of evaluating her by herself, she's a girl. Yeah, she's on Instagram. Yeah, she's one of them.
That's that judgment.
Yes. So
yeah.
no thinking, snap judgment.
Yeah.
No processing. No. Yeah. So you have to. It has to be a PMI.
Okay.
You have to start from the positive.
Right.
Positive.
Yes.
Even over somebody or something you don't like.
Yes. And I think that's the part I like about it. It's not personal. It's just looking at the case study and giving us the facts and the figures. I love it for that. Whether we don't want to know your likes, your dislikes, look at the situation as it is and give us your answer. So I love the fact that your personal bias or whatever is not included. That's not what we're asking for.
It's not it.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So you start with a positive and you say, okay, here's the positive. Oh, give me an example that can
come. So okay, it's back.
Okay. Yes, we're back. Great. Okay. So let's say the World Cup happened at Doha in Qatar. So you say, okay, so question, was the World Cup in Qatar a good experience overall? Many people are going to just snap judgment, and that judgment is going to usually be based on their own personal experiences.
Yes, it's usually personal.
So yes, I've been to Qatar before. I've been to Doha, and my experience there was, there's nothing. It's a beautiful place. I can agree with that. Fantastic, well made. Where we have nothing like it here. Nothing like it here. In fact, it probably rivals. The only thing I know is that maybe the one at Dubai actually has in-house trainer or an in-house coach. I think that's the only thing better about it. But fantastic place, huge, humongous, great. All right. Anyways, that's not the issue. The issue now is that. So, what do you think about the idea that the success of the World Cup? But do a PMI. They spent money. They had to get in contractors. People came in. People worked. Had a job for a while. They were there. They were able to engage with other people from other cultures, irrespective of religion. And they did it, in quote unquote, without discrimination. White people, black people, and they just keep on going around. And then they created, what is the most expensive ever, Olympic. World Cup
experience.
Positive. Then really 60 seconds. They go to the negatives. Oh, okay, yes. A lot of the labor was almost indentured servitude. That. There was some degree of racism. There was a degree of LGBT rights. They were flouted. There was a degree of intolerance, to other perspectives, other blah blah blah. And then stop, and then you go to interesting. What's interesting is how are they going to do now that the soccer has ended? What is their post World Cup plan for the utility / divestment / undoing of all the things they've invested in it? How can those assets continue to be generating assets and generating something for the people? Or is it going to go moribund? That's an interesting thought. The people that have come in, how many of them want to stay in? How many people are going to say, oh yes, fantastic? How many people want to say, oh, I'm going to set up a business based on this because of that, blah, 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 blah. And then as you just play around these scenarios, you have a way more robust thinking about the subject matter. Why? Because you just did one thinking tool. PMI, one thinking tool, PMI. If you did a different thinking tool, you would also get a very interesting. You get a different perspective as well.
Stop. I need to jump in again.
If you did
I need to jump in again. You know, if you leave us, we can do this. I mean, we can do it all day because it just makes absolute sense. And I'm excited that they are literally simple solutions. It's not out of this world, and it's within us, and it can be learned. So at this juncture, I know it's Sunday, it's the new year. Everybody wants to go and catch up on one thing or another. We just wanted to show you what we've been up to. We wanted to share with you the sort of content and juicy engagement that we have on the Dear Durand YouTube channel. I repeat, YouTube channel handle is at Dear Durand. So check me out on YouTube, and I have tons of other wonderful guests who will be coming as well on the first season of Think About It, which is on the theme of safety. But as I said, we dedicated the first 4 episodes to how to think. So when you are engaging with us on Think About It or any Dear Durand production, please, you come with your brain, you come with your common sense, you come with everything that can help us engage well, because it's a think show. So we're not just going to gist, we're going to take the possible outcomes and run with it as individuals, because you may not have the power over the next person, but you do have over yourself, and you can go ahead and use that. And once our thoughts are correct, our actions will be better, and the outcomes within our society or our community and ultimately our nation, it will show that something has changed. So that's the area which we're going.